First order on the agenda is to approve the minutes of January 22nd. Everybody had a chance to look at them?
I'll move them.
Second. Any changes or corrections? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. All right, next order is the public hearing now. We only have 2 members of the public per se here.
Oh,
But-
Sue is too.
Well, that's right, Sue is.
So we have 3.
is
What was
public.
the name of the man at the other end of the corner?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Matt.
Matt?
Matt.
He's the school board representative. Matthew Hayden.
Now, what I'd like to do on the public hearing is, we will be going down it article by article. First is, we'll ask any people here that are not on the budget committee, any comments that they wish to make or questions. And I would expect most members of the budget committee have already been through it at least once. So that we shouldn't have any, but then we will make our vote as to recommend or not recommend on each article before we go on to the next one. So we don't get totally confused as to where we are. Now, the one thing I will ask is, when you look at your town warrant on the copies, make sure you have these, what I'll call semi-current version, or current version. And the current version, the Article 5 is the town operating budget. On the older version, Article 5 was discontinuing a section of River Road. So make sure you have the version that has town operating budget as Article 5. So, is there any questions before we start going through with the quote, the public hearing? All right. The first article, we do not have any petition articles involving money. We have one on the zoning, but that does not involve money, so the budget committee doesn't have anything to do with it. Articles 3 and 4 are related, as they have to do with the firehouse. Article 3 is borrowing $500,000. And Article 4 is taking $400,000 out of the Public Works Facility Capital Reserve Fund for a total of $900,000 of taxpayer money directly or indirectly. And do we have the total that's been raised privately, Dina, or an update on that?
Close to 500,000.
It's close to 500.
Yeah.
But Dick, one little thing, Article 3 is looking to approve financing of 500,000.
Right, right.
That's, will be tax dollars, but it won't be all 500,000 this year.
It's
It's a 7-year note,
It's a 7-year note, and we anticipate, what, 3.5%?
3.25, I believe.
Right,
3.25.
yes.
Now, because of that, it has to be a written ballot,
Yes.
2/3 vote.
Yep.
Do we have any questions from the public on these 2 articles? I want to take them together since they're so related.
Yes,
Oh.
so if you raised 500,
No, 500 is a
No.
note.
No.
Donations, the fire
Donations.
department, yep,
500,000,
it's gonna be, yeah,
that's pretty incredible,
it's
number one.
amazing.
Number two, so that will reduce the amount that's gonna be borrowed, correct?
No,
No.
this amount being borrowed is taking into consideration the 500,000 and the 400,000 that's in the capital reserve fund presently.
So that's a total of 1.4 million,
It's about 1.4,
and
yeah.
that's what they're bringing.
It's 1,395.
Thank you.
Okay,
It's impressive that the town is able to raise so much money privately. I think it's
Yes.
terrific. On the other hand, $1.4 million for a fire station seems like a lot of money. But I'm sure that it's being done very, very carefully.
Yes. We assume so. Do they have land? There will be plans at Little Town Meeting and at Town Meeting.
And do you know what the budget is based on? Are there, we have a contractor who's gone over it and said, yes, for $1.4 million, I can do that.
I believe that it has been looked at, but I can't give you the specific details. The select board is not in charge of this
Oh,
particular
right.
project.
So we'll know more at town meeting.
Yep,
And
and
I
we're
will
Little
tell-
Town Meeting.
And I think by then they'll determine whether or not they have to take that to bid, or they can just select a contractor.
Right. Good.
And I'm sure if you called Michael Monday, he would answer
I'm
any
sure he
of
would,
your
yeah.
questions.
Thank you.
From the budget committee, any further questions? Do I hear a motion to approve, to recommend Article 3 as written?
So moved.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 4 as written?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 5 is the town operating budget. And the current total is 2367649. And that's rounded off and we lose the cents. We added them all up. But we have to do it in whole dollars by DRA. So somewhere the selectmen are gonna have to find 30-some odd cents, I believe.
I don't know, we'll put a tin cup out.
Do we have any comments, questions, clarifications from the public that they would like on the town operating budget?
I didn't get very far, I just haven't gotten it tonight, but.
It's the same as what we've had.
Art on line 15. The contingency, temp and overtime went from 2250 to 12,000.
Yes, we're down a full-time employee, and we will be trying to have temporary or contingency and some overtime for other folks to fill in part-time for some of that.
You recruiting? I hope.
We will be. We have someone right now that's working on a temporary basis.
Any other comments or questions, or people haven't had a chance to generate them yet? Barbara?
The Pike House, that's the house at the corner, right?
Yeah.
Is that being maintained to our liking?
Well,
Is it
we're
the-
maintaining it to our liking, yep.
Well, I mean by that, you're keeping track of the paint peeling and things like that.
Yes. Yes, we actually have a sorry, can I answer? We have a maintenance guy now, and he's been very good about checking on it, and, you know, we have somebody living in it, obviously.
And you,
And-
the town owns it and
Yeah.
as well.
Yes,
Does it have fireplaces in it?
it has a fireplace, but it's a not working fireplace. Not allowed to use it, insurance purposes.
As long as it's kept up.
Yeah, yeah.
Good, thank you.
Dave?
I'm very impressed by the job the selectmen are doing in managing the town and keeping expenses under control. Nice job.
Thank you.
Anything further from the budget committee? On Article 5, do I hear a motion to recommend as written?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Article 6. This is the appropriation to the capital reserve. This comes out of this year's taxes, or this coming year's taxes. Do we have any questions from the public on that? Goes over to the top of the next page. It's not in your spreadsheet, I don't think, so you have to look at the warrant or the capital reserve or fund plan.
Top of page, bottom of page 4, top of page 5 in the warrant.
There's a spreadsheet, this is a large version of it, projecting out the capital reserve funds for trucks and vehicles. And heavy equipment.
Just,
And
is
no longer.
is it roughly the same, or is it?
It's down
it-
slightly. It's
what-
425 is the total. I believe last year was
459.5.
439.
459.5.
459.
Thank you.
I knew there was a 9 in there.
Oh, see, I thought it was 450.
Things are getting cheaper?
Putting less money into a few buckets.
And there's the man that developed most of it, so. All right, any other questions from the public?
So I just want to point out that
No, it's like this.
we are paying for the fire truck loan, right? So instead of putting it in the capital reserve fund.
Yeah, we have a loan payment this year. It's the
That-
second
that-
year of the loan payment.
That will come later in the, from capital reserve fund,
Okay.
not to the
Sorry.
to capital
Okay.
reserve fund. Any other questions from the budget committee or public? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 6?
Deposits to the trust funds.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 7 is the block grant. And it's estimated at $100K. Any questions about that?
This is the block grant.
It's creeping up there finally. I remember it was in the 60,000 range. Anything from the public? Anything from the budget committee? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 7 as written?
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 8. This is the initial expenditure on that part of River Road dropping into the Connecticut by near the North Thetford Road.
This is putting money into the fund. It is not gonna all be spent this year. It's building up. The majority of it will come out next year. But this is going into that Class 5 Roads Rehab Capital Reserve Fund for that project.
This is designated for that project, not just into the fund. Any questions? Public? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 8 as written?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Article 9 is taking 80,000 out of the Class 5 rehab fund for this project, same project. And this is to do the design, engineering, and permitting.
No.
Any questions?
the design and engineering, not the permitting.
It won't include the permitting in part of that 80,000?
No, we're gonna use their data, and we're gonna permit it. The town's gonna permit it. Just to clarify.
Thank you, Kevin.
Because I know that was a problem before, we had to get the engineering design, part of that contract included the permit application.
I didn't wanna do that.
All right, so this is just the engineering design.
It'll be everything we need to do the permitting in-house, if you will.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what's the total for the town share of this
So
part,
it's-
the whole project?
35%
Right.
of.
1.6,
Thank you.
so about 550. And this 80 is our 35% of the design and engineering anticipated costs.
How much is the total anticipated?
For this, I don't have my calculator with me, I think it's 169, 170. But if you take 170 times 0.35, I think it's gonna
Was
come
the
out.
Well,
total
you got that
project
computer?
you're
Yeah.
asking?
No,
It's
it's
1.6 million,
so it's 35% of 1.6 million.
Total,
eventually total, but not here.
and the 80 is our 35% of the design and engineering.
Is that part of the 1.6?
And 65% is FEMA money,
No,
It's Army Corps of Engineers.
Army Corps of Engineers.
Somebody have one of those Google machines we could do a calculator?
No, it's 169, almost, 169, 170, it's in that range is what they estimate the 2020 spend for design and engineering. So our share of that's 35%.
And you're saying what 35% of the 1.6 is?
550.
Is everybody thoroughly confused?
no, it's
No.
very
No.
clear.
Any further questions about the River Road, North Thetford Road area project?
Seems like an awful lot of money. How about a nice, long, dead-end road? You won't be surprised to hear me say that.
It may be before it gets done.
And the issue is, there's another section of River Road about a mile away
South of
that
there?
may close the road permanently,
Good.
so you can't.
I've always wanted
Close
to
the
live
people
on a
in the
dead-end
middle.
road.
I live on one.
Do we keep track of like how much, the projects on the road have been costing over time? Do you have any,
Don't ask.
be too depressing?
We're in the 1.8 to $2 million range, and we've got about 3.8 identified
More?
in the future.
3.8 more?
River Road's the second busiest road of the town roads.
We could stop that.
With the dentist?
Exactly.
But you can't have
There's
two
not
dead
that
ends in
many.
the
You
middle.
always hear that.
True.
You actually take account.
That's the problem.
I always wanted to live on an island.
All right, are we ready to proceed since we've got a long meeting? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 9 as written?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Article 10 is withdrawal of $82,000 some odd for the fire truck. Payment number, what is it, 1 or 2?
Payment number 2.
Payment number 2. Any questions? I believe it will not arrive until this summer. Does that sound right to people?
Sounds right.
Did the fire truck price escalate as we had anticipated? I think it did.
I don't know
We made a good
specifically.
move by paying for it as well.
Well, at least it got us in line to get one, because it's about 1.5 years for delivery.
The price was going up big time.
The last few have all been
Any further comments from anyone on the fire truck payments? Do I hear a motion for Article 10 as written?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
There is a typo in there, I just noticed. Just one word. It says authorize instead of authorize.
Really?
And further to
I'm glad you read
authorize.
it, thank you.
Oh,
You
man.
have the old one, what page is it on?
Five,
Five, right, right.
middle of the paragraph.
Middle of the
Yeah.
middle line.
I was probably looking at trucks at the time.
All right.
The line below that agreement needs another E.
Oh, stop it.
Rubbing it in, right?
That's it.
We'll see you quietly on the next one.
It helps to have some spellers in the audience.
Further down your nose.
I know, I need to do something different.
All right. Article 11.
No, we did, oh yeah,
We
we did.
did 10, didn't we?
Yep,
Yep.
you're right.
So we're up to Article 11. And this is to pay off the police cruiser loan that from last year.
Correct. And the amount to pay it off is $51,459. We got a little feedback, we thought, at the meeting last year, and after the meeting last year, we got a little more. And so we're recommending that we pay it off this year. It will come from the capital reserve fund.
Any questions? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 11 as written?
So moved.
Second? Any further?
Who's second?
Those, Scott?
Mike,
Mike?
thank you.
Those in favor of Article 11?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, Article 12, withdrawal from the capital reserve fund. We have 2 trucks from the vehicle and the computer system upgrade for a total of $287,000. Any questions from the public or comments? Maybe Barbara's still
I
standing.
know, deciding what they want to ask.
We ready to move on? Anything from the budget committee? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 12 as written?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 13, this is the Independence Day celebration fund.
No.
Article 13 should be appropriate,
Right.
Oh, listen, I'm sorry, FEMA.
this is the FEMA, part of the FEMA money from the 2017 storm to go into the emergency highway repair capital reserve fund. It's $150,000.
All right, this is reimbursing us for expenses that we already paid for out of that fund, or the FEMA
It's
share.
reimbursing the town for the 2017 storm.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. Do we have any questions about that? FEMA makes us spend the money first, and then they will reimburse us at a certain percentage.
Good.
Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 13 as written?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, this is another
This
FEMA.
is, right,
And
Article
Article
14
14?
is the rest of the FEMA money from that 2017 storm. And this is to be appropriated to the Class 5 Roads Rehab Capital Reserve Fund. So the first one was the emergency highway repair capital reserve fund, got 150. The remainder, 80,994, goes into the class 5 road rehab capital reserve fund.
Any questions? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 14 as written?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're still on roads. Article 15. This is paving that section of River Road South. It's the big expensive project. We're gonna finally get it paved this year.
Yes, so we're looking to move money that was designated to go to a different project, that we have reconsidered that project. It was the Dorchester Road Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, taking $154,625 and using it to pave River Road South. I don't think it's one continuous paving project, I think it's several sections that need pavement. I'm looking at Kevin, because he's the expert on this, but definitely River Road South will get pavement.
Yeah, it's a bit of a hybrid really, in that the section that got ground, if you will, from the East Thetford intersection up over the new road or the bypass, all the way basically to the Fisher Bridge. The base coat's gonna get done by the contractor, paid for in that contract. The top coat is gonna come out of some of this money. And then past there, past the Fisher Bridge going south, is going to also get paved base coat. We're still working the base coat, top coat costs, and that's gonna get paved to the area designated on the warrant article. So some of that, so that's why it's a bit of a hybrid. It's a little difficult to explain, but we're gonna basically finish off all the way from East Thetford, all the way to what?
51 River
51
Road.
River Road is basically gonna get finished off with pavement.
All right, for those that don't know, the Fisher Bridge is the Grant Brook Bridge, correct?
Yes,
Right. Where's 51 River Road?
it's a
On
half
51,
mile
Kind of
from
in
It's
the
the
middle.
head
just
of a
past
line.
Roy Knight's house. Trying not to use names.
You don't wanna pave that section that's sinking just north of the Hanover line.
Right.
Is this for grinding and paving, or just?
All the grinding that's gonna get done has been done, so no, it's basically gonna be top coating the existing pavement.
Over very badly broken pavement?
Yes, ma'am.
Do we have any further comments or questions about? Okay, do I hear a motion to recommend Article 15 as written?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 16, we do not deal with, that's abandoning an old section there.
17 and 18.
All right, 17 is the
Will
public
there be a
land.
public hearing on number 16?
I don't know, but it isn't budget committee,
Right?
there's no
okay.
money. And discontinuing a road is weird what the hearing requirements are, and notification of the butters and everything else.
There isn't a public
I
hearing requirement.
think that it goes to town meeting for discussion and
Okay.
vote.
I think you need to send a legal notice to people that have
14
property on
days
that section.
before I have to send a letter to everybody who got it.
Article 17 and 18,
Article 18,
no, 17.
oh, discontinuing of the public land acquisition capital reserve fund.
And it goes along with 18, which is taking that money, if it's discontinued, and putting it into the class 5 roads rehab.
Right, now that fund was originally set up, going back, because I remember there was a question of it when I was a selectman who set it up. And it's supposed to be for future land needs for the town, for fire station and transfer station. Both came up in the discussion of creating that fund. Now, we'll be taking care of the firehouse, but if we discontinue the fund, there won't be anything set aside for maybe a future transfer station.
That's correct.
That's the intention.
Yes.
Any comments or questions from the public?
I think we have a great transfer station. We don't need a new one.
All right,
There's.
anything from the
Other compliance of the state.
committee?
State's not-
Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 17 as written?
So, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
And 18.
And now 18 is the money, and are we sure that's gonna be the right number?
Yes, sir.
To take that money and put it in the rehab money, we have to go through the general fund, just DRA rules. Do we have any further discussion about where that 36,000 will end up? Do I hear a motion to
So moved.
recommend Article 18 as written? So moved by Judy.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now I get to do the Independence Day. Article 19 is the Independence Day celebration money. And that's a special revenue fund of basically contributions, payments for chicken dinners, et cetera. And there's no direct tax money in that fund.
Correct.
So moved.
Any further questions?
We need a second.
I'll
Second.
Second.
Visit.
All right.
Everybody likes that one.
I know you needed.
So they wouldn't let us.
Do you wanna vote it?
Yeah, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 20, milfoil treatment of Post Pond.
This is fairly standard, we've been doing this the last few years. The article breaks down where the various dollars come from, for a total amount of $34,936.
And the Conservation Commission came through,
They didn't have their meeting yet.
I thought it was yesterday.
It was, but they didn't have a quorum. So they're gonna have another meeting, special one to address it.
Good.
Yeah.
Any further comments? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 20 as written?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Wow.
All right, we got through the town budget.
Thank you, Dick.
My goodness, we got through it pretty quickly, too. Yeah, now we got the school. That's where the big money is.
So, Mr. Jones, if I could just summarize for the group, so everything you just approved is a little bit under 3 million total between the operating budget and the warrant articles, and then special, so all the things you just approved. In the past 2 years, it ran a little bit under 3.2, and so basically what you just walked through and you've been learning and approving over the last 2 months is about $200,000 less than the previous 2 years. So I think, to the point is, we're working as hard as we can to control our spending. Well, it's good, I think it's good for the budget committee to know, just those rough numbers.
Well, I think it's important that the public know rather than just the budget.
Well, I guess, I'm suggesting that you guys help to, sort of spread the word as far as how things are going. So thank you.
Now,
you,
the
Kevin.
caution that you have to watch, Kevin, is the tax rate is somewhat dependent on how much undesignated fund balance is used to offset taxes when you're meeting in September and October with DRA.
Yeah.
So just because the expenditures go down, it doesn't mean the
Right.
taxes will go down.
No, and I wouldn't quite go there yet. Actually, the big number there is the revenue number.
Yeah.
And the valuation of the town, those are the really big numbers that help to drive the tax rate. The fact that last year's town valuation went down a little bit, historically, doesn't fit the trend. And so even if we were to stay flat, from a town valuation perspective, and if revenue stays flat, I think we've got a pretty darn good fighting chance of staying flat on the median tax rate. My crystal ball says it's actually gonna go down a little bit.
All right. Any further comments or questions
It's a
about the
little cloudy,
town's
but-
budget side? All right, now we're on to the school. And the first article in the school is the collective bargaining agreement.
Nice work.
And the numbers, if I am correct, in Article 2 are the additional costs associated with the new collective bargaining agreement as compared to if we were still on the old one, correct?
No, not quite. No. They would be dramatically different in that case. They're a comparison to the numbers for the current
Year, it's current year.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a budget as
It's not a-
presented with this left out, and this is the increment above it.
Right, it's not a comparison to what the numbers would be if we carried the current agreement forward.
I was misunderstood.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Can be a big
actually, 'cause
difference.
These would be much smaller numbers, slash negative.
Now, are there any questions or comments people, public would like to raise about the collective bargaining agreement? It's been signed by both the,
It's been signed by the representatives of the school board and the representatives of the LA.
so
Because the teachers voted on it?
Yes. It has been, yeah, so technically it's ratified.
it's been ratified now. Any comments or questions that people would like to raise about this?
I think maybe we just acknowledge the negotiation team on the board, the amount of time that they spent on this, and the outcome, I think can't be understated. They did a really good job representing the interests of the community, as well as balancing that with the desire to keep a school strong. And I think that the results relative to what it would have been are notably less, both next year, but then next substantially in the following 2 years.
2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the fourth year,
The
but
fourth year is the biggest changes, and
Biggest-
so
Yeah.
ultimately, because there are significant changes to the structure of the grid over the whole course of it. So if you were to do what you were talking about, which is carry forward the current contract, the year comparing current contract to new contract, each year the savings increase. And there are figures in the estimates here that are estimates. I mean, these include costs that depend on employee elections and otherwise. And so the figures here include essentially everyone electing. So for example, the 403B millage that everyone elects to participate. so the sort of, especially for next year, it really reflects the high end.
Now, it also reflects the cost of living, right? Index,
Yep.
CPI changes. You have to make some sort of estimates.
Right, and for next year reflects the increases in healthcare costs as well, right, because we know those numbers.
So Dick, one thing that is different than in years past, the increase year over year in years 2, 3, and 4 are already set. So they're not dependent upon a CPI number or anything like that, they're
All
set.
4 years are set.
Right, but this, well, even next year's a projection, but, going out 2, 3, and 4 years, they're all set.
Well, next year's not a projection. Under the current contract next year, it's October to October, so it would have been 1.5%.
Yeah.
And it's going to be 0.5%.
Okay.
There's a significant savings.
Yeah, so the increases in the base are 0.5, 1, and 2.5. So 2.5 reflecting projected CPI, as much as it can be projected, which it really can't, but forecast, I should say.
There's some consultation going on in the row. Do I hear any comments or
What is
questions?
high school tuition out of state?
We're on our,
Yeah, we're not quite on that warrant yet, but I'll answer that for you when we get there.
We get to that later. This
Oh,
is
okay.
just the teacher's contract
Oh,
in Article
Oh,
Two.
sorry.
I'll move Article 2.
I'll second
as
it.
written. You recommend it? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Article 3 is the school operating budget.
So, Barbara, to answer your question.
Barbara had a question to start.
So, out-of-state tuition, depending on which you're referring to, if you're talking about just standard out-of-state tuition, 2 of the schools that we send students to, Thetford Academy and St. Johnsbury Academy, are considered out-of-state. And so those would be the schools that we send tuition to that are Vermont schools versus New Hampshire schools. Jenna, do you want to add anything to that?
We have Hartford and Riverbend too for
Yeah,
vocation,
for vocational,
Yep.
yep. We have
but they don't hit that line, it is vocational.
We provide physical education.
Any other questions about the school operating budget? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 3 as written?
Less expensive. So moved.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 4 is the transfer of, is this of surplus or from surplus?
This is,
Do you have that money yet or
no,
not? This is if there is a
if there is
surplus.
a surplus.
To the post-retirement benefit capital reserve fund. Some questions about that one? Do I hear a motion to recommend Article 4 as written?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Article 5 is to the maintenance capital reserve fund. This is the same thing, and this comes after. The first chunk of money goes into the Article 4, and if there's more money, it goes into Article 5.
Correct. And anything past that,
Well, we'll get to that when we get to Article 6. Any questions about Article 5? Do we hear a motion to recommend Article 5 as written?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And Article 6
so you actually want to explain.
What happened to the contingency?
It's
Yeah.
gone.
It's gone, all right.
So, as a board, we discussed, the contingency, as a way to, reduce the loss of, and again, this is a term that the school uses, or the state uses in education, revenues from surplus. We decided that, not to include that, because, it seemed that there was a lot of discussion, and there was some sense that it seemed to people that it was,
Not a good idea.
not a good idea.
In other words,
Well,
give it back to the taxpayer now.
Right.
Right, so the decision was probably to fully fund the post-retirement benefit
Yeah,
capital reserve fund.
the other
This was
funds.
a year that made sense to do that.
My one concern, and when you go down the road, is if you get one very expensive kid, you basically wiped out the special ed fund.
Yep.
So that you may need to put some money in that over the next
Well,
couple of years.
Yeah, I think our general guidance around that is that, we don't want to fund it and build it beyond what we expect to pay with one student. And so that's right around 250 to, maybe 300, depending upon the placement. If we have that student, we're gonna hit that hard, and then subsequent years, we're gonna have to spend to build it back up, similar to what we're doing with the building and grounds trust. But we don't want to, we really don't wanna do what it sounds like there are a lot of people concerned with, we're just holding on to taxpayer money more than we would expend in 1 year, so.
As long as people are looking at it carefully.
It's a good decision.
All right, Article 6 is I don't just want to walk in.
Controversy.
Do we have any questions about paying the moderator $100 or the clerk $100 or whatever it is? Do I hear?
Big bucks in that one.
Yeah,
As written.
as written, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
I know. Say.
Any,
I like that $825 for my Christmas wish.
any comments from the public? I think I've lost control of the table.
Yeah, you're lost. You're done.
Might as well.
You're done, Dick.
I would like to thank every member of the budget committee, but before you take off, we have a number of things to sign
Good job.
while we're here. So make sure you sign there's one form for the school and there's one form for the town that needs budget committee signatures.
And I would just like to point out that you need to find your name and sign it next to it, please.
Not on top of
Not somebody else's.
I'll let Lisa.
I see some pens, can we?
Absolutely.
Send some pens around?
And then we'll start with the,
They don't have to be blue.
They can be any color you want.
I
They're
think
gonna
like
complain about it.
Did you adjourn the meeting?
Here, start that way.
Is the meeting
I
adjourned?
will move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are you sending one